Hey, come into the kitchen. We're preparing salads for the week, as well as we're trying out a recipe for some gluten free pecan cookies. And if you're interested in those kind of things, this is the place you're going to want to be. Summer in the kitchen. This is the perfect place to be because we're learning how to prepare dishes that are easy, delicious, and healthy. Join me. This particular recipe for gluten-free cookies is one that I've thought up. I wanted some pecan cookies. I love the ones in the store that Keebler and some of the other brands have. They're so delicious, but I needed one that was going to be vegan friendly. So because of that, I tried switching up some of the options in the baking of the cookies. And I'm really playing around with this recipe because I'm not even sure that it's going to work. But the fun thing about it is that had to put the dough together in advance, allow it to refrigerate, and then bring it back out and start to cut the cookies. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. So stay tuned because you know the cookies are not the only thing that I'm going to be preparing today because we're working several days in advance for the week. And that's what we do when we're working in the kitchen as home cooks, and particularly for the summer.
8 egg whites. That's 7. And one more. Oh, I lost him. I gotta fish him out. And there he is. You notice I took my egg and scooped the yolk right out. 1.5 cups of sugar. I'm going to use half coconut sugar and half granulated. That's a half a cup. All right, 1.5 cups of sugar. And here's the zest of 1 lemon. All right, let's add our 8 egg whites to the bowl. And we're going to add that with our sugar, our 1.5 cups of sugar. And we're going to mix well.
Will want to mix your eggs and sugar mixture until most of the graininess is gone.
All right, we're going to add our 3.5 cups of almond flour. And we're going to add a 4th teaspoon of salt. Just a 4th. We're also going to put in about a teaspoon of vanilla. Let's add one more. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And our lemon zest. It's time to mix.
Hello, I'm Leona Dooley, and this is Ebony Ivy and Thyme, and I'm the Weeknight Vegan. And so we're trying some new and different recipes to be able to serve our family and friends. And you know what? How about I try them out first? And then, if you like them, you'll prepare them for your family. Stay right there.
Place your batter into a Ziploc bag and put it into the refrigerator so that it can start to set up. Now, this is a recipe that I'm testing, and I had to add additional almond flour. Didn't change the flavor. It is still delicious, and I am going to give you the final recipe in the description box. All right, so here's our batter, and it's going into the refrigerator. Now, once it has really started to take shape, then I'll take it out and show you what to do from there. Here's our refrigerated cookie dough. Now I'm going to place in some nuts. And I'm not sure this is going to be enough, but we're going to start here and see what it looks like. We're going to need more. Chopping them, but not too finely. And remember, this is a recipe that I am making up, so I will put the final touches to that recipe in the description box.
Now, let me just say, I could have added the nuts into the recipe much earlier. I could have done it before I put it into the refrigerator. But at that point, remember, I was making kind of a basic cookie recipe. So I could have added the pecans. I could have added a little touch of oatmeal. I could have added some chocolate chips. I wasn't quite sure where I was going with it, but I just knew there would be cookies.
How much I put in. So that's the reason why we took our time and kind of played around with the measurements. Always use caution when you're making up the recipe. Okay. One more time. One more zhuzh. Okay, I think that's enough. Now, I'm going to bring the cookie sheet over and a ice cream scoop. Let's see what we can do. I've got a cookie sheet. What we need. I'm going to pull it here and tear it up. Okay. I'm going to turn it over so it folds in the direction I want it. All right, cookie sheet ready, and we're going to do just a little bit of a spritz of oil. Now I can say this is reacted very different from regular flour, because normally this dough would have really set up pretty hard, and it's not. It's still not as soft as it was, but it's still pretty soft. And you see me going to the end. There we go. Move these just a little bit. Try to get them all up on the sheet if we can. Now I'm going to take the back of a measuring cup and we're going to press them down just a little bit so they'll kind of stay uniform. Gently, just give it a press. fact, it's sticking pretty well. So I'm going to just take my fingers and press it down. Press each one down. I think that'll work, and it'll kind of make a fingery design in the top. Okay, I'll go ahead and do those so they'll have the same design. Okay, want them uniform. All right, let's see what else we can do. Now, what I've decided to do is that I'm going to take some of the nuts, and I'm just going to, now what I've decided to do is kind of press them in the top using the larger pieces. Whatever shape that you see, these are the Priester's large chop nuts. There we go. Oh, there's a nice one. Nice whole one almost. There's a couple pieces I'll put in. Okay, so there we go. We're going to put these on a 350 oven, and I'll keep checking. I'm thinking about 10 minutes maybe.
Now that I've had a chance to work on this recipe, there were several things I wanted to share with you. And, you know, I'm going to put that full recipe down in the description box. But there are some things that you need to know. Now, first of all, this is not a vegan recipe because we use the eggs. And this is more of a vegetarian recipe. I was really looking for a gluten-free recipe, which is something that the entire family can handle, as well as my friends. Now, so this is what I did. I made sure that I used a gluten-free blend, a flour blend. You can decide if it's going to be almond flour, or if you want to use a 1-to-1 measure, you can use King Arthur's. Of course, you can use Bob's Red Mill. But the reality of it is that what you don't want to do is to have to add 10 different types of flour, because then you're not going to want to make the cookie. So let's keep it simple. I used almond flour this time. The next time I may do a 1-to-1. So we'll see how this works. Now, another thing is that you want to make sure that you avoid the fact that your cookie might be gummy. And so in order to do that, you'll notice that some of the mixing I did with the mixer, but some of it I just used my hands and mixed it inside of the bag. That was to avoid over mixing and that cookie being gummy. Now, also, you will almost always want to chill the dough. And the reason for that is because of the fact that it's going to make it easier for you to scoop out your cookie dough. Now, this is a technique that's not just something that you're doing that is for gluten-free cookies. I do this with regular cookies as well. And it really does speed the process of putting the cookies on the cookie sheet. Next, make sure that you monitor your baking time.
We've talked a lot about safe practices when it comes to going to a picnic, and the fact that you need to have dressings on your salad that are heat friendly, or you need to take them in an iced container. So today we're going to put together a salad that is picnic friendly, and you can put it in an ice container if you like it cold, but you don't have to, because the ingredients that are in this salad are heat friendly. We're making a red cabbage slaw. And you know, slaw is always good. Whether you're having fish, chicken, beef, it doesn't matter. It looks beautiful on a plate beside a hot dog or a hamburger. So I'm going to take a nice size handful, and probably just about all of this red cabbage that we're going to put in here. And you can see that I've shredded it. I'm also going to add some carrots, about the same amount of carrots, so they're equal. And I'm going to add green onions. Those are our three vegetables. So we've got cabbage, we've got carrots, and we have green onions. So we're going to get all those into the bowl. And then we're going to take clean hands and we're going to give all of that a mix so that everything is well mixed. I really want to break up that slaw, that purple cabbage, get everything in there. As you know, they have a tendency to stick together once they are cut. So we're just going to really give this a nice mix. Get everybody mixed up. The carrots, the green onions, and then we're going to make the dressing. Okay, there we go. There's our carrots, our slaw. One more time. Let's pick it up and let's let it all fall. There we go. Okay, now I'll clean all of this up and we'll toss those in because they're ready to go. Let's make the dressing. All right, we're going to put in about a 1/4 cup first of olive oil. We need a little bit of oil because it needs to cling to the surface of the vegetables. So there we go. We've got our olive oil. We're going to add just a little more than an equal part. So here's our apple cider vinegar. That's 1. I'm going to add about a 1/2 more because I like mine with a little tang. Now we may come back and we may adjust that just a little bit. All right, we need a little bit of honey. You can use honey, you can use maple syrup, whatever the case may be, but we're going to add some into our dressing. Okay, about a tablespoon. We need a little bit of garlic, and I'm going to use a little garlic powder. I need what's equivalent to 1 small garlic clove. So I'm going to add about a 1/2 teaspoon into our mixture. There we go. And give all of this a good stir. Now we are probably going to have to add just a tiny bit of salt, but I'm going to use this spoon. I'm going to give it a taste. Now I tell you what, it needs just a little more apple cider vinegar, just for a little tartness. And oh, that's better. Okay, I like that much better. And I'm going to even add just a tad bit more. You could certainly add apples to this. And oh yeah, that's it. Now, I kind of have the tartness that I want. I have more than enough oil. And like I said, you can play. But we're going to need just a little bit of salt. So I'm just going to throw a little bit of salt in. Just a few shakes. As we're dealing with all of that cabbage. Yes, that's it. Okay, now this is ready to go over the cabbage, the carrots, and the onions. Now, just so you know, I decided to give it just a little bit of water. 2, 3. I'm going to give it 3 teaspoons of water. Can't see.
This red cabbage slaw is going to need to sit for at least 24 hours so that all that dressing can get soaked up. But let's taste it at this point. The dressing is good. It's just sweet enough with a little bit of honey that we added to it. And so I'm going to get this into a container where it's closed, get it into the refrigerator, and we're going to move on to another salad. We're going to put together a kind of a fermented cucumber salad that we need to fix at least several days in advance before serving. So I have the cucumbers already cut. I'm going to be adding some peppers in, and of course we have to have onion. Now if you have a red onion, that would be perfect because the colors would be absolutely beautiful. I didn't, so I'm sticking with a nice yellow onion. As you can see, Asian cucumber salad only has 3 main ingredients. That's 3 nice sized cucumbers that have been thinly sliced, 1 onion, and 2 to 3 little mini bell peppers or 2 regular sized bell peppers. We're going to take this combination and we're going to place it into 2 jars. Now I'm doing 2 because of the fact that I can take one out, we can eat on it, and the other one remains cold. So let's add our dressing. Say that this dressing is not for the weak at heart. I'm going to decided to make it a sweet chili sauce. So I'm going to add in about a 1/4 cup of sweet chili sauce. And this is the Asian sweet chili sauce, so it's got a little kick to it. All right, so there we go, into my measuring cup. And I'm going to add about an equal part, maybe a little more, of white vinegar. I will probably add more. That's 1. I'm looking at it thinking, okay, 1 1/2. And this is a 1/3 cup measure, so I'm putting a 1/3 cup of Asian chili sauce. I'm going to give all of that a stir. Okay, now in each of those containers, I'm also going to add in just a little bit of salt, just a little, that's about a 1/4 of a teaspoon to a 1/2 of a teaspoon, because nothing in these jars have any seasoning whatsoever. So we need to add just a little bit. And I'm going to add some in each of the containers. I'm going to do a good shake of dill, 3 shakes. I got a little more. And a little bit of celery seed. Now celery seed's tiny, so I need to be careful with this. And celery seed is pretty strong. So I'm going to take the end of my spoon and just sprinkle a little in. Want a little celery seed flavor. Okay? And we're going to give our dressing one more spin. I need to taste it, make sure that it's right. Oh yeah, that's good. Now, alrighty. Okay, so we have our dressings in, and when I press, you can see that the liquids are going to come up.
And here's the second one. Let's get those liquids up. Needs just a little more liquid. I think I'll add just a touch of water to it, just a little bit. Because I don't want to add any more vinegar. That'll throw it off too much. Okay, that's it. So that everything is down in the dressing. Oh, that's it. Let this marinate at least overnight. You can let it marinate longer than that. It can stay in your refrigerator for about a week, or maybe even a little longer because of the vinegary base. All right, now let's get the tops on them. There's one. Here's two. And we prepped our salads for the week. We have our red cabbage slaw that is here in the container. We have our cucumber salad that's here in these containers that we just kind of sprinkle on our tossed salad. And we might come up with something else, but you know what? We need to look at those cookies. Well, it's time for a taste test. Let's see. Nice and soft. Good flavor. I like them. Not too sweet. Just sweet enough.
I absolutely love trying out recipes with you. And you know, you're always there to give me great feedback as to what you might want to add, or maybe some things you want to change. And you know, I have no problem with that. So just put those thoughts down in the comment box. You know, these cookies are delicious, and we have a friend who is seriously gluten free. And so, because of that, I can't wait until he comes because he's going to be the one who's going to try these cookies out and tell me what he thinks. Now, this is my opinion. They need just a little bit more sugar. And so, when I give you the recipe, you're going to actually have the part of the recipe or the ingredients of the recipe that I like. I hope you enjoyed these recipes as much as I did. And I hope you enjoyed spending the time in the kitchen because it's always a lot of fun. Now, these recipes are healthy, delicious, easy to make, and you know what? So good for your family. Now, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And don't forget to click that subscribe button if you are not a member of the family. And if you want more healthy and delicious recipes, come back. Be right here to Ebony Ivy and Thyme. Thanks for watching and happy cooking.